Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Today we're having our Halloween special. It's going to be the Crimson Ghost in color. This is a condensed down movie of the serial. It's all for one show. We'll also be showing Commander Cody with a surprise from the Republic robot in it. So thanks again for tuning in. Here's the show.
I sent for you, Ashe, because tomorrow is the day for which I've been waiting. Tomorrow morning at the university, Professor Chambers will demonstrate his Cyclotrode, a device which is designed to detect and repel any atomic bomb attack.
Unless you intend to sell the machine to a foreign government, I don't see why you want it.
Because in my hands, the Cyclotrode will become the most powerful offensive weapon in the world. It will instantly stop any electrically controlled mechanism.
How are you going to get this machine?
That should not be difficult. The demonstration is taking place before the scientific members of the university faculty. And since I am one of its professors, naturally I shall be present.
You understand, gentlemen, that this model of my Cyclotrode has a comparatively short range. But a full-size machine will have a range of hundreds of miles and will be able to locate and destroy any atomic bomb or similar device long before it reaches an effective striking position. I need hardly tell you that this is a confidential demonstration and that no word of what you see or hear must go beyond this room.
Professor Chambers, do you mind explaining just how this power is generated?
I'm afraid I haven't the right to do that, Anderson, even among my trusted colleagues.
It's 3 o'clock, Dr. Chambers.
Thank you. I will contact Professor Richards, my assistant and collaborator in this invention.
Duncan Richards? I thought he went in for scientific crime detection.
Well, that's true. He is the criminologist responsible for protecting the secrets of government atomic research. But he is also one of the outstanding physicists in the country. You understand, I have no idea from what location he will launch the model airplane. Calling Duncan Richards.
Yes, Professor Chambers.
We are ready. You may launch the plane.
At what, sir?
Approaching from the northwest. Elevation 1,200 feet. Now watch the screen.
There's the plane.
Amazing,
James. Comforting indeed. I haven't felt so safe since before the bomb fell on Hiroshima.
You're very kind, gentlemen, but any honors must be equally shared with Professor Richards.
Nice work, Chambers. Nice work. When do you plan starting work on the larger model?
Well, after tomorrow, the whole thing will be in the hands of the government. And now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, Miss Farnsworth will summon you here again when Duncan returns.
Oh, thanks.
Sure,
Surely, Professor.
You did an excellent job.
Shall I transcribe these notes, Dr. Chambers?
Yes, my dear, and I'll call you when Duncan arrives.
I'd like to investigate the wire. What power?
Oh, could you clean up later? I'm rather busy right now.
This won't take much of your time.
What's the meaning of this?
It's all right, Professor. Hand me that box. We're taking it with us.
Cyclotrode is useless now. Proceed with your murder.
It's not that easy, Professor. You built that machine, and you can build another one for us. Come on.
What happened?
Professor!
Great Scott, the place is a shambles. What is this riot, Richards? Who is this man?
There were two men. They were after the Cyclotrode. What is that thing on his neck?
That's what I was wondering. He's coming around. Maybe he'll tell us what it is, as well as who sent him for the Cyclotrode.
Look, there's a skull on that thing. What's that?
What have I done?
I don't know. The man is dead.
The Cyclotrode. It's smashed. This is a major catastrophe.
I smashed it myself to prevent their getting it. And it's not a catastrophe. There's a duplicate machine in the strong room at the bonded warehouse, and it'll be safe there until the government calls for it.
Oh, that's marvelous, James.
Bain, instruct Ashe to have Professor Chambers intercepted and taken to the underground workshop. Keep him there until I arrive.
Who are you?
I'm known to my associates as the Crimson Ghost. But in my other personality, however, I am one of your select little group of scientists at the university. Listen, I must have possession of your duplicate Cyclotrode at once. If you want to save your life.
Don't threaten me. You know that machine was made for the government, and I won't turn traitor to save my life.
Those who wear my collar relinquish their own willpower and become my slave. And I alone can remove the collar without causing your instant death.
Nonsense.
I will first inject a drug, which will destroy your willpower. He'll regain consciousness in about 10 minutes. Then we'll send him to the bonded warehouse for the Cyclotrode.
I'm surprised to see you back so soon, Professor. I understood you were leaving the case with us for some time.
So did I. Change of plans.
Introduce your companion.
This is Mr. Sherman of the War Department. He'll take charge of the consignment.
I see. Just sign here, Professor. Get Professor Chambers' case from the vault. He'll identify it for you.
Duncan, Professor Chambers has disappeared.
Disappeared? When?
The police just phoned. They found his car abandoned on Dyke Road. It showed signs of a struggle. I can't understand it. They smashed the cyclotrode.
The cyclotrode? They must have learned of the existence of the duplicate model.
But that's safe in the bonded warehouse.
It's not safe while they hold Chambers and can force him to get it for them. I'll have to warn the warehouse people not to release it to anyone. Duncan Richards speaking.
The professor's here now to claim the case, but I thought he acted a little strange. There's a government man with him.
Delay them on any pretext till I arrive. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Chambers is at the warehouse.
One moment, Professor. I just had word of a mix-up in our strong room consignments. I can't let anything go out until we've checked.
We have nothing to do with your mix-up. I represent the government, and this is government business.
I presume you have your credentials?
Why, of course. Here they are. All 6 of them. Get them up. You two. Get inside. Unlock that door.
Duncan Richards.
Follow me.
What's up, Chambers?
What are you waiting for? Stop it! Well, what are you waiting for? Stop it!
Then they forced Professor Chambers to steal his own invention, the counter-atomic force machine, which he calls a cyclotrode.
Isn't it possible that Professor Chambers could have succumbed to the temptation of easy money and sold it to a foreign government?
Nonsense, Anderson. Let's hear no more of that. Duncan is an experienced criminologist. He's handled a number of such cases for the government. I suggest we delegate him to take complete charge.
I agree.
Good suggestion.
Then it's up to you, my boy, and good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it.
am I? I remember. You wanted me to get the cyclotrode for you.
And you did.
Why?
And now you're going to build a larger cyclotrode.
Not if my life depends on it.
There are worse things than dying, Professor. Unless you agree in just 1 minute, I will inject a more powerful drug into your veins which will entirely destroy your mind, leaving you a hopeless idiot for the rest of your life. Decide, Professor.
I agree.
I thought that you would. Make out a list of the materials needed.
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
We're here on an errand for Professor Chambers.
Professor Chambers? Where is he?
Well, he's building a larger cyclotrode and sent us for the X7 transformer tube.
Come on, sister. We know it's in the vault. Get it.
He got away with something he took out of the vault.
Did you see what it was?
No, but he said Professor Chambers was building a larger cyclotrode, and he wanted the X7 tube.
The X7 tube. You know, Professor Chambers tricked them. The X7 tube is no part of the cyclotrode, but a special radium vapor tube we've been developing for a death ray machine. Why, that tube is so highly radioactive that... Say, I'm missing a bet.
What?
The radium detector. With this radium detector, we can follow the X7 tube wherever it's taken. That'll surely lead us to Professor Chambers, and probably the Crimson Ghost. Turn right at the next corner.
Here you are. How you coming?
This is all I need to complete the job.
And you're ready to demonstrate it to the Crimson Ghost?
Bring him and the cyclotrode over, and I'll show him something he'll never forget.
You better take this.
Give me that wrench there, will you?
Sure.
It's in there. Stay here in case anyone comes back.
can build a larger cyclotrode without the aid of its inventor, by copying the model we now have. However, it will take longer, and I'll need a lot of money.
That's easy. We'll crack a bank.
It's much simpler than that, Ashe. We still have Chambers' machine, and within its range, it can stop any motor. Tomorrow morning, an armored car will deliver the payroll to the Steel Corporation.
Here it comes.
Something's gone haywire. Stay on guard while I check the motor.
That signal's coming from behind us. Must be that armored car that just passed.
Gentlemen, there's no doubt that Professor Chambers' cyclotrode was used to carry out this robbery.
You're probably right. But what steps do you plan to take to prevent more outrages?
I've already taken one. As you know, heavy water is the key to the operation of the cyclotrode. The supply in the tubes must be almost exhausted by now.
And I suppose the Crimson Ghost can't get any heavy water.
Exactly. The compound is made only by the Cornwall Chemical Company, and they won't release a drop without my authorization.
That's certainly an effective step. But it may be dangerous for you. You're up against a ruthless enemy who'll stop at nothing.
I realize that, Professor Parker, and I'm taking every possible precaution.
I'm glad to hear that. Shall we adjourn, gentlemen?
Right. Certainly.
Who's there?
Professor Richards, you think you have stopped me from getting the heavy water, but you shall soon know how unwise it is to stand in the way of the Crimson Ghost. You will be... Put him on the table.
get your hands up. It may interest you to know that I heard every word you said. You see, you made the mistake of using chlorotine on that record. I detected the odor and kept my face close to the floor so that I escaped most of the fumes. I had an idea I might be brought to the Crimson Ghost. Now, the police can take over from here. Ghost is still at large, but at least I prevented him from obtaining a supply of heavy water with which to operate the cyclotrode.
That's very fortunate. In criminal hands, the cyclotrode would be a terrible weapon, capable of paralyzing the industry of the entire country.
Yes, but the Crimson Ghost still has the cyclotrode. We have no idea as to his identity. Have you any plans?
None that look very promising, but I did receive an anonymous phone call asking me to pick up a message about the Crimson Ghost this afternoon.
Oh. Well, are you going to do it?
Why, yes, of course. Gentlemen, that's all the information I have for now.
Well, at least that's something to work on.
Diana, I'd like you to drive me.
Certainly, Professor, whenever you're ready. What's this all about?
Just a little scheme to prove my theory that information about my plans and movements leaks from the conference room and reaches the Crimson Ghost. I've planted an envelope up in the hills. We're going out to get it. I'm hoping some of the ghost crowd will get the news and try to follow us.
So that's it. Let's go.
Okay, follow me. Right.
The car we just passed is trailing us. Make the next left turn and head for Pelton Road. You hide behind the tree and cover me in case they try to rush us.
Okay.
And so I decided the only place to keep the heavy water was right here in our own vault. This bottle contains the entire supply from the chemical house. No one will think of looking for it here. And besides, only members of our own group know the combination of the safe. There, that's a good job done. Let's go. The game's up, Anderson. So, you're the mysterious Crimson Ghost.
Kill him, Anderson. You were armed. Ash, go in there. Get the water.
He's dead. Another victim of the Crimson Ghost.
It's Ashe. He got the heavy water.
They're following us, all right.
Wait for me.
Here he comes.
You are very clever, Professor Richards, but not clever enough to cope with the Crimson Ghost. I knew that you thought that I was a member of the scientific group with whom you meet, and to increase that suspicion, I had Anderson captured and placed a control collar on him.
I see. So you murdered Anderson in order to get possession of the heavy water.
You killed Anderson when you broke the control collar. He would have been valuable to me. Now your own life is forfeit.
Quick, close the door.
Is the Crimson Ghost in there?
He was, but he escaped through a sliding door. We can't go in there until the place clears out. Then we'll search it for clues. The condenser in this device is a new and powerful type, manufactured only by the Brandon Electric Company. I phoned them and found that they'd sold several of these condensers to radio shops in this area. I have the list over here.
Oh, quite a number.
Yes, but I'm going to check on every one of them and see if I can find the man who built this.
The bottle you got wasn't heavy water. This is just plain ordinary water.
Of all the double-crossing...
We've been tricked by cleverness. Something to be admired even in an enemy. This means that the heavy water is still at Cornwall's Chemical Company. We'll get it tonight. Now, as soon as it's dark, I want you to go to Snyder's.
Hey, that's quite a piece of machinery.
Yeah, it'll open the best safe made. Too bad you'll never get a chance to use it. Smash that gadget.
Let's get him in the chair. Put the stethoscope in the case while I tie him up. I'll be back for him as soon as we get the heavy water.
Keep that up. If you get loose, I'll have the pleasure of shooting you.
Mind if I have a cigarette?
Not at all. Go ahead.
There's a case in my breast pocket.
Well, as long as you're going to furnish him, we might as well both have one.
Here's the electric stethoscope.
Good. Now I'll neutralize the high voltage in the vents. When you get the heavy water, take it to Cole. He has a plane waiting at Gopher Flats. We'll fly the stuff to the mountain hideout. We'll store it there until we're ready to use it.
Got it.
Sure. That bolt was a cinch to open with this gadget.
You know, with that electric stethoscope and our cyclotrode, we ought to be able to crack any safe in the country.
hurry.
When the fire broke out, I didn't have a chance in the world to save the heavy water.
Which means we must construct a plant to make our own heavy water. And one of the basic ingredients in its manufacture is refined uranium.
Uranium? That's refined under strict government control.
It is. But nothing stands in the way of the Crimson Ghost.
What's the layout?
A truckload of uranium, guarded by an armed escort, is being shipped to the Federal Atomic Plant by the Owl Creek Bridge.
That's near our mountain hideout.
Which will simplify things. Now, you plant the bomb on the bridge and use the cyclotrode to set it off at a distance as soon as the escort gets onto the bridge. Now, stand by your radio and I'll call you if anything develops at the comfort.
Calling Ashe. Calling Ashe. Ashe talking. Go ahead.
Professor Richards is going to survey the landing strip area by plane. This may bring him close to your location. If his plane discovers your truck, you may have to use the cyclotrode to bring it down.
Right. If any plane shows up, we'll take care of it.
Hart.
Set this up on the bridge and come back as soon as you're through.
Diana calling Duncan. Diana calling Duncan.
Go ahead, Diana. We'll have to knock him down.
There's a truck right below me, and it looks like...
Diana! Diana! What happened? Not so fast, sister. As long as you dropped in, you might as well stay for a while. The uranium truck's almost due at the bridge. Lock her up in the car, and I'll pick you up as soon as we're finished with the truck.
Come on.
thanks.
Duncan, the truck I told you about has a cyclotrode on it. They used it to crash my plane, and I heard Ashe say something about a truckload of uranium due at the bridge.
Uranium? Bridge? There's only one bridge around here, Owl Creek. That leads to the Federal Atomic Plant.
Then they must be planning to wreck the truckload of uranium at the bridge. I saw Ashe head back up the hill to his truck.
Come on. You grab my car. It's at the end of the road. Warn the truck. I'll take care of Ashe. Okay, Ashe. You, put your hands up. Come on, get them up. Higher. All right, Ashe, turn off that cyclotrode. You've played with it long enough.
My face may be a bit on the grotesque side, my dear, but you'll get used to it. As soon as I put this collar on you, I'll have complete control of your actions. I'm due at the university at 2 o'clock. As soon as she comes to, here's what I want you to do.
Diana?
Hello, Duncan.
Where have you been? What happened?
dashboard short-circuited, so I knew I was within range of the cyclotrode. I jumped before the bridge exploded.
Smart girl. But that happened hours ago. Why didn't you call?
Tell him you were dazed and don't remember.
I was dazed. I don't remember anything until I came to about an hour ago. There's nothing to worry about now.
Nothing except the Crimson Ghost and the Cyclotrode. Fortunately, there's a way to nullify the power of the Cyclotrode.
There is? Tell me about it, Duncan.
6 months ago, Professor Chambers and I developed a special isotron device to counteract the power of the cyclotrode in case it got in the wrong hands. The electrical impulses pass through a prism. That turns the power of the cyclotrode back upon itself and destroys it.
I can see how important the prism is.
Yes, I couldn't get it any sooner. It took 6 months to grind it. They called this morning and said it was ready. Will you file these? I'll step in and tell the professors you're okay. Then I'm going over to the optical company and pick up the prism.
And Richards the package.
This is for you.
What is it?
Open it.
Thanks. Get the prism out of that machine. I'll give it a going over with this. Now you're going to talk and talk plenty.
Diana, remove the control collar.
Operator, get me Mercy Hospital at once, please. Mercy Hospital? Duncan Richards speaking. Send an ambulance to the chemical building at the university. At once, please.
What happened? Is she dead?
No, but Richards must have struck or drugged her.
Then she'll escape.
No one escapes my control collar. Any attempt to remove it will result in her instant death.
But Richards knows that. Why the hospital?
He means to try something. Just what it is, I'll learn when we meet in conference tomorrow morning.
Diana is at Mercy Hospital in a critical condition. She appears to be under the influence of some powerful drug. Dr. Gage is preparing a serum which he hopes will restore her to normal.
And presuming that you are successful in counteracting the drug, just how do you propose to take off Diana's control collar?
She'll be brought to my laboratory where I've set up a powerful magnetic field. I hope to demagnetize the collar and clip it off.
You're taking a desperate chance.
I realize that, but Dr. Gage and a nurse will be there to assist me. We'll attempt to remove the collar at 8 o'clock tonight. Dr. Gage is late.
Yes, sir. He telephoned he's been delayed. He'll be here shortly. What will you do with this thing?
Just turn it on and hope. I'll put this extension near the collar. The dial will show when it's free of the electrical charge. Think I can put it over?
Why, of course. You're the right size and build. The mask will disguise your voice. Don't worry about the real Dr. Gage. He's been taken care of. I'll be waiting for you in a getaway car behind the gymnasium.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Gage.
Sorry to be late.
Oh, that's all right. The machine is ready. Will you look at the patient?
Temperature and pulse normal. You may proceed.
All right, Doctor. Oh, wouldn't you be more comfortable without that mask? It isn't necessary in this case, you know.
Probably not. I have a slight cold. Don't want to take any chances.
Oh, I see. And we'll go ahead. Now, it's highly important that once I start this machine, that a steady flow of electricity be maintained. Any stopping or slowing of the current might prove to be fatal. It's working. Watch the dial, nurse. This is a critical moment. What happened?
Power must have failed.
The plug is out. Are you sure you didn't kick it with your foot?
Are you insinuating that
I'm insinuating nothing. I'm asking you.
And I am answering you.
Well, that's not Dr. Gage.
Call the university guards at once.
Where am I?
You're all right now.
Who's that?
That's Ashe. When we question him in the morning, I think we'll find out something about the Crimson Ghost.
Time for me to take over. Give me the keys to the cuffs.
Sure.
Nice work.
Crimson Ghost promised me plenty for this.
Don't worry, you'll get your dough.
Down the back way, there's a car in the alley with a motor running. Hurry.
Okay.
What's going on here?
You didn't have to make it so realistic.
Ah, quit complaining. Professor Richards punches pretty hard, too.
Thanks, boys. That'll be all.
We thought you were going to trail him.
I am. There's a television unit concealed in the back seat of the car Ashe is driving. I can watch him from here.
Gee, a crook ain't safe anywhere nowadays.
You're just in time, Diana. No, thanks again, boys.
Any time, Professor.
Now we'll do a little spying on Mr. Ashe. We'll wait until he thinks he's safe, then I hope he goes to their headquarters. Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, Professor Van Wyck, but I won't be able to attend the meeting today.
And why not? I see. All right, Duncan.
What's wrong?
It seems he captured one of the criminals and purposely let him escape.
What?
He's devised some means of trailing the crook. They expect to be able to follow him to the Ghost headquarters.
Well, I hope his scheme works.
So do I. But Duncan hasn't been very successful so far. There's nothing to be done here. Good day, gentlemen.
Van Wyck? Parker? Keep in touch with me by radio.
At the end of the canyon and went into a tunnel.
Good. Must be their headquarters. Hold on until I get there.
Duncan, the Crimson Ghost just got out of his car and went into the tunnel, too.
Our plan worked. I'll soon be there and capture him, and Ashe, too.
The experiment is a huge success.
That'll be all the experimenting for today. I'm curious to know who you are. Take off that mask. Now we'll see who you are. Ashe. So, it's a trick.
You guessed correctly, my dear professor. Drop it. And now...
Get the heavy water plant.
The laboratory was destroyed, but the Crimson Ghost escaped with the heavy water.
An amazing tale, Richards.
Almost unbelievable, in fact.
As I was trying to say, I can't understand what the Crimson Ghost would want all that heavy water for.
Offhand, I'd think he might be planning to use it in a large-scale model of the Cyclotrode, one that could possibly paralyze an entire city.
And there isn't a chance of finding your so-called Crimson Ghost or stopping him from carrying out his criminal plan.
The picture isn't as black as that. You see, during the fight, one of the gloves was ripped from the ghost's hand, and he left his fingerprints all over the place.
I thought the explosion destroyed everything in the cave.
Sure, but it didn't shake any fingerprints loose from the wreckage.
I see. Then you're going to dust and photograph everything in the cave for fingerprints.
Exactly. I've had the wreckage hauled over to the pier warehouse. It'll be easier for me to work on it there.
I must confess, I still don't understand how this will uncover the Crimson Ghost.
Gentlemen, I promise you that if a suspicion I have is correct, just one fingerprint is all I'll need to confirm it.
Ashe, Professor Richards has sent a truckload of wrecked equipment from the cave to the pier warehouse.
That junk?
I'm going to the warehouse and destroy that evidence. In the meantime, you must stop Richards from getting there.
I'll take care of him.
And so far, every step I take against the Crimson Ghost seems to be known in advance,
And the professors are the only ones you confide in.
which is why I suspect that one of them is the Crimson Ghost, or closely associated with him.
It seems incredible.
I know, but it's the only lead I have. So now I'm trying to force the guilty one to show his hand.
So that's why you told him about the fingerprints that don't exist.
Right. That wreckage in the truck at the warehouse is just bait to draw out the Crimson Ghost. Stay in, Diana. Let's go.
We can't, Duncan. It's stuck. Looks like the Crimson Ghost was pretty anxious to keep us from getting to that warehouse.
We can still make it.
We can? How?
On foot. If we cut across the peninsula here, it's only about a half mile to the warehouse. Not so fast. Well, Professor Van Wyck, or do you prefer being called the Crimson Ghost?
Now, don't jump to any obvious conclusions, Richards. I only came here to save this evidence from
That's what I hoped would happen. I suspected that the guilty professor might show up here just for that purpose.
You just listened to reason. I could explain everything.
You'll explain, all right, but to the proper authorities.
I'll be glad to. There's no use in trying to get anything through that stubborn head of yours.
That's better. Now, hop in there. Thanks to your friend Ashe, we'll have to use this for transportation.
Don't move. Drop your gun and put your hands up.
Out of here. Get him out of here.
Through the television screen, you will have the pleasure of seeing what happens when all the city's power and electricity have stopped.
That'll cause a lot of accidents and death. Make the cops turn on the heat.
The cool millions being paid to me by the foreign country Count Fater represents will justify the result.
But there is one other condition. I must have the original plans of the Cyclotrode, so that I may be sure that no one else in this country ever attempts to build one.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I hope you won't think I'm curious if I ask you what's in the wire.
It's from Dr. Fred A. Cushing, psychiatrist and specialist in criminal psychology. I'm going to let him have a talk with Professors Parker and Maxwell. Since the death of Professor Van Wyck, it's evident that one of the two is the Crimson Ghost.
And do you think this Dr. Cushing will be able to find out which one's behind all this trouble?
He'll be able to tell which one might be the criminal type. That'll give me a chance to concentrate on him and build up some evidence.
It sounds like a good possibility.
Yes, it is. I'll introduce Cushing as a government expert interested in the cyclotrode. We better hurry and have dinner. Cushing gets in tonight, the 7 o'clock plane, and he'll come directly here from the airport.
I'm glad you mentioned eating because I'm starved.
Oh, thank you, Professor.
We better hurry and have dinner. Cushing arrives tonight in the 7 o'clock plane. They'll come directly here from the airport.
This is our opportunity to get those cyclotrode plans from Richards. This Dr. Cushing will have Richards' complete confidence and be able to secure anything he asks for. So all we need do is substitute our Dr. Blackton for him.
Professor Richards, this is Dr. Cushing.
How do you do, Doctor?
How do you do, Richard?
I'm sorry to be late.
Oh, that's quite all right. The young lady here has made me feel right at home.
I realize you can only spare a few days, Doctor, so we'll get right down to business.
That's right, Richard. Now, as I understand it, you want me to talk to these two professors and subtly test them for paranoia or other criminal tendencies.
Exactly. I thought I'd introduce you as a government expert interested in the cyclotrode.
Well, I'm afraid I'll have to have more than an amateur's knowledge of the cyclotrode. Perhaps I could use its plans to study overnight.
Why, yeah, certainly. But I'll have to send out for them. You see, since all this trouble started, I've been keeping my valuable papers in a safe at the apartment I rented secretly. Oh, Diana, will you get the plans for me?
Of course.
It's apartment 917, 806 Hill Street. Here, I'll give you the combination to the safe.
I'll be right back.
Take a man and go to Richards' apartment at once. Get the plans from that girl when she opens the safe.
Diana won't be long, Doctor. While we're waiting, I wonder, would you mind autographing my copy of your new book?
Why, I'd be glad to. I hope you enjoy reading it.
I'm sure I will. By the way, Doctor, I've often wondered whether your middle initial A stands for Albert, the same as mine.
Why, it does happen to be Albert.
I happen to know that Dr. Cushing's middle name is Arden, and that he's left-handed as mentioned in an earlier book. You sign that autograph with your right hand.
Well,
Don't alibi. Kill him.
What's your game? Now, supposing you tell me where Cushing is and who you are. Now we'll see what you can tell me about the Crimson Ghost.
Take off the control collar.
Hello?
Hello, Diana. Diana! Diana!
You better talk, sister.
Oh, wait. I'll open it.
That's better.
Landed in the alley. Let's get it.
Well, nothing on the dead man to give us a clue, and no sign of the Cyclotrode plans. Ashe must have gotten them.
Why do you suppose the Crimson Ghost wants those plans? After all, he has the Cyclotrode.
Maybe to check or verify some detail on the large model.
But you don't even really know that he's building one.
It's a pretty good guess. A criminal of his caliber wouldn't be satisfied with a small model. I wonder why Mrs. Malloy left this out here.
What's the matter?
It's a lot heavier than it should be.
What is it?
It's a wire recorder.
Then someone's been picking this up and listening to everything we've said here.
I'm afraid that's right. And now that we found out about it, we ought to be able to turn the tables on them.
How?
We'll wipe off the conversation that's recorded here and substitute some information of our own. Then I'll bait the trap with some similar remarks at the meeting this afternoon.
You place too little importance on the fact that the Crimson Ghost now has a Cyclotrode plan and can build an enlarged machine.
No, I've anticipated the building of a larger cyclotrode and have taken steps to meet and avert any attack that may be made with it.
Taken what steps?
I've constructed another isotron. The moment the cyclotrode begins to operate, my device will bend back its rays, destroying the machine and all who are near it.
What assurance have you that your isotron will not be destroyed as the other one was?
It's well hidden at my apartment and under guard. I'm going there now to make some final adjustments. Then, let the Crimson Ghost strike if he dares.
Mrs. Malloy just brought in the recorder.
Good.
Now we will hear the real plans of the great criminologist Richards.
But you didn't take Professors Parker and Maxwell into your confidence.
Naturally not. I'm convinced that one of them is the Crimson Ghost.
Then there really isn't an isotron.
Oh, yes, there is. But not at my apartment. It's concealed in the wall cabinet in the main room of the university storage building. It's already in operation and will destroy the Cyclotrode and its operators, just as I warned them.
So, he's a fool, is he, this Duncan Richards? It is you he makes the fool.
Silence! Get that isotron and bring it here immediately. I will not start the demonstration until it's in my hands.
What is that stuff?
Trapper scent. The dog will follow it anywhere. Go get him, Timmy.
Why, this is a fake. A trumped-up imitation of the isotron. Why, it's useless. Richards has devised some means of trailing you.
Not a chance. Nobody saw me leave there or arrive.
We can't be sure of that. Go outside and stand guard. May even start the cyclotrode.
What happened?
They must have turned on the cyclotrode. Here, Timmy. Let's go.
Now watch that plane. Easy victims for our little monster here. Now we'll go into the heart of the city, where we will first destroy all communication systems, leaving the police helpless to stem the rising tide of panic and disaster. Why, the power is irresistible. Nothing can stop it.
That stopped it, my ghostly friend. Get your hands up. Now, let's have a look at his ugly face. After weeks of following blind trails, it finally became evident that the Crimson Ghost must be a member of the faculty here at the university. But then I found the wire recorder and forced a move that brought me face to face with the Crimson Ghost. Take him away, Inspector.
Come along.
Commando, are you expecting some equipment?
No. Better check with the guards.
Fine.
Hello, guard. Hello, guard. They don't answer.
You'd better listen, Commando Cody. We want the plans of your rocket ship and instructions for getting through the cosmic dust blanket which you've spread around the Earth. Get the papers and give them to the robot.
They're in the safe.
What happened?
Cody must have burnt out the controls. I hate to tell the ruler about this, but I'll have to. This is Baylor reporting from Earth.
Then try again. I don't care how you do it, but I must know how to get through that cosmic dust blanket before I can add Earth to our other slave states. That is all.
If the robot couldn't do the job, how does he expect us to?
I don't know yet. But this will help.
What's that?
It's a nerve gun. Paralyzes a man for about half an hour. That should be time enough for you to get the job done.
Operator, give me the police department quick.
Hey, what goes on? Take it easy. You'll be all right in a few minutes and ready to help us. Help you? Who are you? You'll find out. Wait. What goes on? This is a machine invented by the ruler. It won't hurt you. Just make you do as you're told.
We were fighting here in the office. There was a flash.
The ray gun.
I guess so. Anyway, next thing I remember was waking up in a South Side hotel about an hour ago.
Which hotel?
The... Sorry, Commando, I'm a little confused.
Well, that's all right, Dick. We'll run it down. Make up a list of the hotels, Joan.
Don't you think I'd better wait till after the conference?
Of course. We're on our way to Henderson's. You take it easy till we get back. Then we'll check on the hotels.
Suits me. I don't feel like doing anything right now.
Oh, I should think not. We'll be right back, Dick.
See you later.
This is great. We've got everything the ruler needs except the directions for getting our rockets through the cosmic dust blanket. Can you tell us how to do that?
I've worked on the dispeller formula, but it'd take me weeks to duplicate it.
When a friendly ship wants to land, how is that done?
The cosmic generating station turns on the master dispeller ray till it gets through.
Can you order that done?
Yes, I know Commando's code.
Fine. Use this phone. Order them to let our ship through within an hour.
Dispenser Station 8.
This is Dick Preston in Commando Cody's office. We have a GX-43. Relayed it clear with RS-86 for plus 60 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Your ship is cleared.
Good. I'll tell them. Calling rocket N6. Calling rocket N6.
Rocket N6, come in.
You're cleared to land an hour from now. Come to the location we arranged.
We'll be there on time.
You're going to take Preston and these papers to the rocket. You know the location?
Yeah.
We should be at the cosmic blanket by now.
We are, and it's breaking up. We'll go right through.
Let's go.
All secure. Here they come. Open the door.
Here are the papers. Baylor said to take them to the ruler's experimental laboratory on L36. And this man goes there, too.
Who is he?
He's going to do some work for the ruler. Baylor used the thought control ray on him. When it wears off, he may give you trouble.
We'll watch him. Sit there. Take off.
Left number 1 bank. Last number 2 bank.
And Clancy, have the ship ready for takeoff as soon as we get there.
You think you can follow that ship? We've established its course. We may be able to pick it up on radar as soon as we get out of Earth's atmosphere.
If you don't, the ruler will have all our top secrets. I never thought Preston would turn traitor.
I'm not sure he has.
Oh, how can you doubt it? The superintendent of the dispensing station is positive it was Preston who ordered the ruler ship let through. And he was the only other person who knew both the landing code and the combination of that safe, wasn't he?
Yes, but there must be an explanation. I know Dick. I've worked with him. I know how he thinks.
Now listen, Commando, make no mistake. Preston is a traitor. He's as dangerous as the ruler himself, more dangerous. And when you overtake that rocket, you got to blast it from the skies, whether Preston's on it or not.
I understand my position. Ready?
Ready, Commando.
I'll keep you posted by radio. We're through the dust blanket now. Take over, Joe, and I'll see if we can pick them up.
Here's hoping. Any luck, Commando?
I'm not sure. There are so many images, but we'll stay on this course for a while longer.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I appreciate your getting these papers for me, Preston. And I hope you will continue to be helpful.
Not while I'm in my right mind.
Ah, that's the point. If you insist on being stubborn, it will be a simple matter to put you into the thought control chair again.
It's no use. We might as well go back. Set the automatic pilot and we'll lay out the course.
You will do what I tell you. But I admit I would rather have you in your normal mind. You could work better and faster.
Would you expect me to do the same kind of work I was doing for Commando Cody?
Well, more or less.
Steady.
There's no static in space.
It's not an easy decision to make. After all, I am an Earthman. And I've always admired Commander Cody.
Does sound like static, but let's hook yours up to the big set.
Oh, you will be made comfortable and given all the help you need.
But I don't know anything about your apparatus and supplies here. It's not like Commander Cody's. In fact, I don't even know where we are.
It's Dick.
No, this is the planet your people call L36.
L36. Is this your home planet?
Oh, no, no. It's uninhabited except for this laboratory building. I prefer not to be disturbed while making certain experiments. However, my equipment here is of the finest in the universe.
Well, it doesn't look like I have much choice, so I might as well work with you.
Ah, now you're being sensible. Come, I'll show you to your quarters.
There's L-36.
It's a very small planet.
Yes, so we shouldn't have any trouble locating the only building on it.
Your Excellency, there's a strange rocket ship coming in.
Impossible. It must be one of mine.
No. This ship has ignored the code signal.
Commander Cody has the only other ship capable of making this trip. He has found out we are here. How?
Why ask me? Your men made a zombie out of me with that thought control machine of yours. You know what I did. I don't.
It's true. You couldn't have informed Cody of your destination. Yet he has found out where we are. How?
Looks like you underestimated Commando.
And the people who work with him. Good boy, Dick.
Just about the best.
Shall I move your things to the bomb shelter?
No, I don't think Cody will bomb us. He will undoubtedly try to rescue his friend. The only place a rocket can land near here is in the canyon field. Arm a robot with a disintegrating ray gun and send it out there to be ready for them.
Yes, sir.
Looks like we're headed for the right place, but I don't like the ruler's idea of a reception committee.
Neither do I. We can't risk letting that robot get close to the ship. I'll fly down and put it out of commission before you land. All clear, Joan. You can land. I'll be waiting for you.
Coming right in, Commando.
And you'll spot the building on the control scanner when the robot gets close by, so you can guide it by what you see there. We'll use the ruler's mechanical man to run interference for us.
Looks simple enough.
You're doing fine. Get it into the building any way you can. Then I'll land and go in right behind it.
Careful now.
underground bomb shelter. He's got more robots down there. Let's grab your stuff and get out of here.
Everything's here. The ruler won't be able to duplicate any of our inventions or get through the cosmic dust blanket.
Yep, looks like he drew a blank. You won't have me to help him anymore either.
You were a big help to him, all right.
Yeah.
Now, it would have been a perfect ending if only we could have captured the ruler.
That's for sure. Boy, would I like to plunk him into that thought chair. Oh, what a houseboy he'd make. And would I snap that whip? Get up, ruler, old kid. Shine those shoes. Get those little pinkies wet. The floor needs scrubbing.
Dick, that thought control machine they put you in, the effects do wear off, don't they?
Oh, sure.
Well, isn't that obvious, Commando? There was no control to those thoughts.
Well, after a nightmare, a fellow has a right to dream. A little, hasn't he?
Hello again. I hope you enjoyed that, our Halloween special, the Crimson Ghost in color and the Commander Cody with the Republic robot. So join us again next week. We'll have another new old serial for you. And stay safe out there. Wear a mask if you can. All my heroes wear masks. Good night, folks.